Ayan, so I see you in our next video.
And Tuesday is Val Winter's birthday.
No, I'm gonna upload this one. Okay, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button.
The thumbs up.
And hit
The thumbs up.
notification down below.
Down below.
Notify you when we have a new videos. So bye guys. Bye. Let's have our thumbnail. Hi mga kabisyo! So, welcome to Val Winter Vlog. And now, I'm with my husband.
Hello.
Yan mga kabisyo. So, hindi muna tayo magmumukbang or kakain ngayon. So, now we're gonna talk about how I got my partner visa. So, my husband does that one. So, he gonna explain to you. So, Rodney, it's your turn.
So Val Winter, I noticed that we're wearing matching clothes and matching hat.
W in stand for? Okay. Alright.
What does it stand for?
Winter.
Winter. So we're talking about Australian visas, and so Valerie's visa was an interesting experience. And there's actually 4 stages to it. Well, there were, at least the way we did it, there were 4 stages, and the 4th stage is yet to come. Looney, you know what the 4 stages?
What's the 4th stage? The number 4.
So number 4 is Australian citizenship. So
Yeah.
So stage 1 was to get a prospective marriage visa. Stage 2 was to get a partner visa, and stage 3 was to get a permanent partner visa. So that's where we're at now. We got that
Permanent.
in April, and then in April next year we'll be able to apply for Australian citizenship. And
Yep.
and some people go straight to the 2nd stage. They get a partner visa. But we decided that we wanted to get married, and it actually seemed to us that it was going to be easier to get the visa if we did the 1st stage, the prospective marriage visa first. And at that stage, so I think we applied for that in September of
2014.
So I think September 2015 it was. Or no. It was March 2015.
Yeah, March 2015.
That was when we applied for the prospective marriage visa, and to do that, so I decided at that time to actually get a visa
For tourists.
So what was Trevor's name? Mr. Trevor?
Mr. Trevor.
So he was a specialist in doing the administration of visa applications, and we basically had to be able to demonstrate that we had a bona fide relationship. So that meant we had to write statements. So I remember, what was the name of that hotel in
Alabama? Clemson.
The Crimson Hotel. So we spent a few days at the Crimson Hotel in about January 2015, and we wrote our own statements where we talked about how much we love each other, how wonderful each other is, and why we love each other, and all that sort of stuff. But we needed.
And I think that's your 3rd times that you went there in the Philippines. So our first met. So we chatted online maybe 1 month or maybe 2 months, at least more than a month, and then you decided that you want to see me in person. That's why you flew to the Philippines on July 17th. That's when we met there in Dusitani, and after that you flew again November. Yeah, November.
And then we went to Pangasinan, and
Yep.
we met your family,
That's right.
and we took Boo Boy and Yana to Pangasinan, and they threw up in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, we didn't buy them crap food to eat, did we?
Yeah.
So that they had nothing to throw up on the way back, and it was okay.
Yeah. It's alright.
so,
I think there's only 2 years old and 1 year old. Yeah. Ariana.
They're approximately, yes.
Yeah. So Ariana and Bubu, it's my nephew and my niece. So fast forward.
Okay, let's fast forward. So we got the statements together. We had to get some stat decks from
Yep.
various people. So I know some of Valerie's friends and family did those, and some of my friends did some stat decks, and you mentioned how we chatted every day. Well, one of the things that we had to include in our visa application was some evidence that we have a relationship.
Genuine.
And
Genuine relationship.
yeah, and that's not easy to do when Valerie's living in the Philippines and I'm living in Australia. But what we were able to do was actually download all our Viber conversations into 4 Excel spreadsheets.
How many?
And there were a total of 20,000 lines of conversation. 20,000 lines of conversation. I think that's quite amazing. But that was that. The other thing, of course, that we had to do to support a prospective marriage visa was actually have a letter from a marriage celebrant to say, yes, Rodney and Valerie have been to see me, and I'm happy to do the service for their marriage. And so you remember who did that?
Father Paul.
Yeah.
No, I asked you to ask Father Paul if he can do the service.
Yeah. So to get one of these, so that's one of the fundamental things for a prospective marriage visa. You actually have to show some evidence that you are going to get married, and that was one of the things we had to do. But then all these other things to do with our relationship, well, that was needed as well.
Yep.
We got all that together with Mr. Trevor's help, and in March 2015 we lodged that, and the understanding that we had at that time was that it might take about 12 months for that application to get approved. After the visa was lodged, there was a bit of activity. There's just administrative type things that Valerie had to do, like a police check, a medical, different things like that to get the process underway. And so we got, after about 4 or 5 months, those things all happened, and we thought, well, let's try and organise a tourist visa so that Valerie could come to Australia and meet the family and all that sort of stuff. And actually, what actually transpired there was that we never actually got the tourist visa. And what happened?
You paid for it, and then they never approved my tourist visa.
That's right. I should sue the Australian government, shouldn't I?
No.
But what actually happened was the prospective marriage visa got approved, and it got approved after 6 months, and we thought that was going to take 12 months.
Yeah.
And so Valerie actually came to Australia in October of 2015, and for a visit, but that was actually using this prospective marriage visa to gain entry into Australia, and the rules of the prospective marriage visa were that it lasts for 9 months, and then before the 9 months is over, you had to apply for the partner visa. that's stage 2, and to demonstrate the bona fides of that particular visa, you also had to have got married. And so we did all of that. We got married in April 2016. Valerie came to live in Australia in December, and we went on a honeymoon to Cairns.
Yes.
And it was all really good. And our wedding at so my brother Paul did our service, and Olive, Valerie's sister, came out for the wedding, so she was the bridesmaid, and it was a really good time, really good.
It is amazing. It's a great day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, we lodged the partner visa, and we actually did this one ourselves. So we did an IMI account, so that's the account that you use to get Australian visas, and we did it online. So there's lots of questions. There's the ability to start your application and come back to it. You can upload documents. So the partner visa process was very similar to the prospective marriage visa process. Like we needed a fresh set of statements. We had to update our personal statements.
Yeah. And we need to ask some of our friends to have a statement that we still be together.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah. And we managed that ourselves, and it was actually very, very quick. We lodged it in April 2016, just after we got married. And it got approved in May or June. It was really very quick. It was, and at this stage, I thought that the Australian government was doing a spectacular job with our visa applications, and really, with a partner visa, you're pretty much a permanent resident as far as Australia is concerned. So you get Medicare with the health benefits. You're able to work.
Yep.
You're for all intents and purposes, you are regarded as a resident of Australia. It's just that it's not permanent. So that visa was for a 2-year period.
Yep.
After which we could apply for the permanent. Permanent cost of the prospective marriage visa was around about four and a half Australian dollars, which is something like 170,000 peso. The fee I paid to the agent was about a third of that, so that was probably another 50,000 peso.
Yep.
But then
the ticket.
Oh yeah,
the medical.
Yeah, so all up, it would have, the partner visa cost about 1,500 Australian dollars. That's stage 2. So I'd say all up, we would have spent $8,000 to $10,000 Australian dollars on all of this, which is over 300,000 peso. And I think the price has gone up. The Australian government aren't very kind when it comes to letting people come into Australia, and it's not as an Australian, it's not something that I'm very proud of, just how mean-spirited they are with these things. But anyway, we got the second stage approved and put that on Facebook. I just think it's a very nice way to treat people. But anyway, we got the second stage of the visa and waited 2 years, and they actually changed the immigration department changed their rules during this 2-year period. When we got the stage 2, we also had a letter saying we will contact you in 2 years' time and let you know what the next steps are. Well, in that 2 years' time, they changed their process. And it was only when we inquired that we found out that we had to contact them, and there were things that we needed to do. So, one, the process changed, it was made more difficult, and two, they didn't have the good grace to tell anyone about it. And it was only that we asked that we found out. And that, so that third stage, well, it was just providing fresh sets of statements. Fortunately, there's no further cost at this stage, but it's just more or less the immigration department doing a check-in and saying, right, well, we've got a partner, we've given you a partner visa, we just want to make sure everything's okay, you're still in a relationship, you know, give us some stat decks to prove that. So we did all that. This was about April 2018, and this one took a long time to approve, but it was actually on our wedding anniversary, April the 9th, 2019, that we got this third stage approved. And that basically means that Valerie's entitled to stay in Australia on a permanent basis, and it also means that 12 months after that, Valerie can apply for Australian citizenship, which is the fourth stage. So
and that's what we need to know, if I can have a dual, if I can stay, I can still have my Filipino passport.
Yep. So that's coming up. So we need to start investigating that and working out what we need to do.
Yes.
So that's our story.
That's our story for our visa.
And if you're interested in this and you've got any questions that you want some more information on, well, let us know. We'll see.
Just drop your comment down below.
Yeah.
And we'll try to answer it.
But what I learnt was the IMI account is pretty easy to use. We actually got Olive's tourist visa using an IMI account as well.
Yeah.
So that I think that would be the first step if you're thinking of applying for a visa, is just creating an IMI account and working out what you need to do, and take it from there.
Yeah, because my visa, my prospective marriage visa, we got a agent. Yeah. But when he apply a tourist visa, he does only by himself. You did it by yourself, yeah?
Yeah, but I did your stage 2 and stage 3 as well.
So in stage 2 and in stage 3 of my visa, he only did it by himself. So we don't need to pay an agent. So you only pay Mr. Trevor for my prospective marriage visa, because you don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, and he was very good, and because he was so good with the first stage, I guess we felt confident enough that we could do the second and third stages without any help. And while we were doing the second stage, I did actually phone him and ask him a few questions, and I paid him a small amount. I just said, look, if I send you a couple of $100, do you mind if we have a phone call for an hour so I can ask you a few questions? And he was happy enough to do that, and so he was a great help. And I talked to another visa
agent.
I won't name who they were, but I had 2 conversations with them, and they contradicted themselves. They suggested a certain approach, but then when I went in for the second discussion with someone else, they suggested the opposite. So I thought, well, these guys don't seem to be very well coordinated. And I actually went to see an immigration lawyer. This was right at so after I first met Valerie and came back to Australia, I thought there was a immigration lawyer that was advertising that, you know, if you come and pay us $300, you can ask all the questions you want to about the process. And I thought, oh yeah, why don't I do that? And they made it seem like this was the most difficult exercise you could possibly imagine. That it's full of pitfalls and things that can go horribly wrong, and the only way to do this, in their opinion, would have been to pay them thousands of dollars, you know, to guide me through it. Well, fortunately, I said thank you for your time, and I thought it through a little bit more and didn't ask for their opinion anymore. But that's, I guess, typical of how lawyers operate in Australia. They like to make things seem very difficult and very complicated, and I don't think they act in their customers' interests at all. But anyway, that's just a social comment from me.
Yeah.
And so is there anything else that we want to say?
About my visa? No, I think you already covered up everything.
Okay, well, bye for now.
Yan mga kabisyo, so hope my husband help you a little bit and for our visa. And yeah, so I see you in our next vlog. Yan. So that's how we apply my visa, and that's why I'm still here in Australia. So yeah, so if you have a question, guys, please let us know, and we're gonna try to answer it. And just leave your comment down below, or maybe just PM me in my messenger. So it's all Val Winter YouTube channel, Val Winter IG account, Val Winter. And yeah, so I see you in our next video.
And Tuesday is Val Winter's birthday.
No, I'm gonna upload this one. Okay, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button.
The thumbs up.
And hit
The thumbs up.
notification down below.
Down below.
Notify you when we have a new videos. So bye guys. Bye. Let's have our thumbnail. Our thumbnail.